Hi, my name is Ray Morris. I'm with an organization called Dads for Special Kids, and Dads for Special Kids is mission is to support dads that have children with special health care needs, to try to keep the family intact and to help the dads and the moms enhance their relationship with each other through the struggles and adventures of having a child with special needs brings. And so, what I'm going to talk about now is I've been asked by several schools, students working on their master's degrees, some questions. And I'm going to take this particular one that's from individuals working on their master's degree in education with a focus on behavioral analysts. And there's 20 questions. I'm going to break this down into 4 videos, 5 questions in each video, and talk about them. The reason I'm doing it this way instead of just sending in a written example is I want to get this out to more people, and I want more people to have access to information to help them in their lives and to help their relationships with each other, and actually to grow as an individual to become the person that they've been designed to be. So the first question that she asked is, what is the age and gender of your child living with autism? Now, for us, it's Zachary. He's 27 years old. He was born in June of 1988. He's cognitively about a 2.5 year old. So he's nonverbal, incontinent, won't answer. Ask him a question, ask him what his name is. He won't tell you. He can do basic things like tell you what he wants. Like if he's hungry, he'll say pupa. Means he's hungry. He wants food or ink. Means he wants a drink. He can work with us and those that are around him that know his communication style and understanding what it is that he's looking for, wants, desires. So the second question, what signs, behaviors did you notice, and how old was he or she when you decided to seek further advice and assessment? Well, for us, Zachary was born with hemimegalencephaly, which means the right hemisphere of the brain's larger than the left. He was born with a 16 3/4 inch head. When my wife went into labor, transition labor for Zachary, he was trying to come down the birth canal, she could feel Zachary kicking inside trying to get down the birth canal. Doctor could see him crowning, top of his head coming out, but then he would go back in. So after 2.5 hours of labor, they decided to do emergency C-section. And at that time, when they did that, they noticed he had a 16 3/4 inch head. So it was huge. There was no way he was going to get down the birth canal. So that's at the time when we found out. He was put in a helicopter, flown to a separate hospital, and Kelly was at a hospital recovering after emergency surgery. And that's pretty much when we knew. It took a few days to get the actual diagnosis of what he had, and the doctors were saying that your son, a large hemisphere of the brain, is going to have uncontrollable seizures, and that they recommend that they remove that hemisphere, and he'll be like a vegetable at that time. Autism was just getting to be known at that time back in 1988, and he was probably about 2.5 years old when he got the diagnosis of autism also. And really there wasn't much known about it, so we were pretty much on the front cusp of that, so we didn't get much services or understanding of how to deal with him and work with him. Excuse me. Third question, what did he have difficulty in communicating, and at what age? If so, in what ways? Well, Zachary's never been verbal. We tried sign language, that didn't work. We tried communication boards, that didn't work. Well, really on the communication board, we did try it, but we were trying to get it through the insurance companies and through the state Department of DDD, DES, but that took years. So he was, I'm going to say, probably in his 5 or 6 years old when he finally got a communication board, and it didn't take. We've tried pictures with him. That seemed to work on certain things. A lot of it was just us learning his communication style and asking him questions. What do you want, Zachary? Do you want to watch this video? You want to watch Thomas? And actually showing him those items and getting him to respond off of that. Another thing that's really worked effectively is basically, Zachary, get up, show me. And having him get up and go show us what he wants. A lot of times he'll just stand and look at a box of trains, Thomas trains, and he'll just look at it, and he's trying to process which one it is he wants. So we will reach in and pull him out. You want James, Percy, and just try showing him different ones to communicate with them. And that's just been ongoing. And it just takes having the right people around him to make him feel safe and secure where he can communicate in his manner and his level. But it gets frustrating with those that aren't familiar with them because they don't know how to communicate in that style or how he communicates. So I look at it as like, if you're going to go to Turkey, the country, well, you better learn to speak that language over there if you're going to be in that culture and that environment. It's the same thing here with working with individuals with disabilities, communication disabilities too. The next question. At what age was he or she diagnosed, and were other diagnoses received? We've received the first one when he was born, hemimegalencephaly. Then about age 3, he received the diagnosis of autism. And like I said earlier, when he got the autism diagnosis, there wasn't no ABA therapy. It was, I remember going over to United Cerebral Palsy for services for Zachary, which was basic, trying to increase muscle tone. And that was about it. I really wish that there were services for the parents at that time, walking through getting the diagnosis and how the system works and helping the parents become adjusted to that more effective way. That's what Jazz Our Special Kids we're trying to do. So, fifth question. What behaviors or characteristics stand out to you now or prove to be most challenging? Oh, wow, that's a big one. Behaviors or characteristics, I think the communication one is the tough one, but also just the autism, the repetitiveness, and which, he does repetitive behaviors because that's self-soothing to him. So, that's the biggest one. And as life's gone on, because, Zach's different today at age 27 than he was at age 3, 5. He's grown, he's matured, and in certain ways. And we've grown. That's the biggest thing, is us growing and learning how to communicate with them and what brings him security and comfort. And so that's the biggest one. But I would say overall, the biggest difficulty is in yourself, the parent. Being at peace with what the diagnosis is. Understanding what the diagnosis brings, what characteristics, what limitations. I won't say limitations in life, but what environment that's going to be in, that the individual's going to live in, and being at peace with how that individual's going to progress in life. And then I think once that happens and the parents are able to do that, now they're able to be more effective in working with the child because they've dealt with themselves. But then also there's dealing with the spouse. I respond differently to my wife. She responds differently. And we have to learn to accept the way each other's differences, because I know early on I didn't grieve the way Kelly grieved when Zachary was born. So she believed that I haven't grieved because I didn't grieve the way she does. So it's learning to let each other grieve in their own style, in their own way. So that's one of the biggest ones. So, well, that's the first 5 questions. I'll create another video with the next 5. It'll be numbers 6 through 10. And then we'll just keep working all the way through 20. So thanks a lot. Be safe and have a good day.